We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Welcome to Watch Mojo's Whatever Happened To. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 child stars who became Hollywood icons. Number 10, Nathalie Portman.
Nobody sent me. I do business for myself.
Portman began acting at the ripe age of 12, and from the moment she hit the screen, we knew there was something different about this kid. While she took a bit of time off during her high school years to star on Broadway, she came back in a big way with the Star Wars prequels starting in 1999. Since then, she's appeared in a number of films, won numerous awards, and has even found time to direct. Amid all that work, she also graduated from Harvard University. Number 9, Mickey Rooney. As a child, he starred as Mickey Maguire in a series of short films before moving to MGM, where his career really picked up. There, along with his partner in crime, Judy Garland, he became one of the most famous child stars of his day in the Andy Hardy films. As Rooney came into adulthood, his star faded from its heights, but he still maintained his icon status. Not many stars can claim a career spanning 90 years, and Rooney is one of the few.
Take unhappy and multiply it by furious and add a little belligerent, and I think you just about got it.
Number 8, Leonardo DiCaprio. During his teenage years, he made appearances on sitcoms like Roseanne and Growing Pains.
Excuse me!
How am I going to be?
I thought today's subject was gravity.
His film breakouts came later, with career-making roles in What's Eating Gilbert Grape and This Boy's Life. With these early years, DiCaprio proved that even as a young man, he had acting chops beyond his years. Looking back at these early performances, it's easy to see how DiCaprio became one of the most important actors of his generation. Number 7, Ron Howard. As a kid, director Ron Howard guest starred on television shows, including a turn on The Twilight Zone. However, his star really took off when he landed the role of Opie on The Andy Griffith Show.
Starring Andy Griffith with Ronnie Howard.
Later, his star only grew when he played Richie Cunningham on Happy Days. As he grew into adulthood, Howard decided to make a change and focus on directing. It turned out to be a great decision. Howard has made such classics as Apollo 13, Parenthood, A Beautiful Mind, and so many others. With Oscars and more under his belt, there's no doubt Howard is one of the most important figures in Hollywood. Number 6, Drew Barrymore. From the start, Drew Barrymore has had acting in her veins, but her real break came with Steven Spielberg's 1982 classic E.T., the extraterrestrial as Gertie. After that, Barrymore hit some personal lows, but in the late 1990s started to turn things around with films like Ever After. Nowadays, Barrymore has once again returned to the public eye with her talk show, The Drew Barrymore Show. Number 5, Jodie Foster. Before she appeared in Taxi Driver alongside De Niro at the ripe old age of 12, Foster was a Disney star, popping up in Freaky Friday later that same year. But her amazing performance in Taxi Driver as a young sex worker named Iris changed everything. Foster was nominated for an Academy Award and hasn't slowed down from there.
I'm here to learn from you. Maybe you can decide for yourself whether or not I'm qualified enough to do that.
She's won Oscars, produced and directed films, and given us too many classic movies to count. Number 4, Natalie Wood. The actress began acting at the age of 4, but her career really began when she landed the role of Susan in the Christmas classic Miracle on 34th Street.
My room upstairs is just like I knew it would be. Oh, you were right, Mommy.
Though she was only 8 years old at the time, Wood showed she had chops beyond her years. When she finally graduated to adult roles in films like Splendor in the Grass and West Side Story, she proved it wasn't a fluke. Number 3, Shirley Temple. Shelly Temple is perhaps one of the most well-known child actors of all time. As a youngster, she was the biggest box office draw of the late 1930s, and her likeness on merchandise made the Hollywood system a lot of money.
On the good ship, lollipop, it's a sweet trip to a candy shop.
Temple started so young that she had already been in the industry for decades when she retired at 22. While she later returned to acting in the 50s, she mostly pivoted to other endeavours. Still, her star lived on as a legend. Number 2, Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor is one of the most recognisable actors and celebrities of her generation. As a youngster in the 1940s, Taylor began acting in films like There's One Born Every Minute and Lassie Come Home. Her big break came at the age of 12 in National Velvet, where she played a female jockey.
March like riding a fairy horse. Who knows what you want before you know yourself?
After that, Taylor grew into an adult and one of the highest paid actresses of the 1950s. Her roles in Cleopatra, A Place in the Sun, and so many others live on as legendary. Number 1. Judy Garland. Judy Garland had one of the most prolific child acting careers in history. When you're that famous as a child, it can be hard to pivot and make audiences view you as an adult. But starting with her first adult role in 1942's For Me and My Gal, Garland managed to do just that. Though she was plagued by personal troubles, Garland's film career flourished even after she became an adult. Her iconic roles span her lifetime, culminating in a stunning performance in 1954's A Star is Born. In her case, one really was.
The night is bitter, the stars have lost their glitter, the winds grow colder,